Who is responsible for the fall of Kashmir? We are celebrating Kashmir Day or Solidarity Day with the Kashmiris. But the fact is basically that since August 5th, 2019, India has been able to absorb Jammu and Kashmir under Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act. It revoked Article 370, 35A, which gave special status to Jammu and Kashmir. But then what has happened is the fall of Kashmir. Who is responsible for the fall of Kashmir? That Kashmir, which is disputed, and since 1990, India has been involved in countless military operations. 700,000 Indian forces have been deployed in Jammu and Kashmir, particularly in the valley of Kashmir. But then what has happened is that since August 5th, 2019, there is a perception that Kashmir is gone, which was a lifeline for Pakistan. And that is something which is so tragic. Celebrating solidarity with the people of Jammu and Kashmir on February 5th is one thing, but the reality on the ground is different. There are three things which we need to bear in mind as far as the fall of Kashmir is concerned. The first is that despite its illegal acts of August 5th, 2019, India has been able to get away. There is no international pressure over India that it has been responsible for serious, blatant human rights violations. Countless siege and search operations, extrajudicial killings, rapes, and also that other heinous crimes by the Indian security forces. India has been able to get away. So that means fall of Kashmir. The second thing is, who is responsible for the fall of Kashmir? The people of Jammu and Kashmir, the Muslim population of Jammu and Kashmir, that they have not been able to effectively resist against the Indian occupation, or Pakistan is responsible. That is, rhetoric on Kashmir has been counterproductive. When India revoked Article 35A 370 and absorbed Jammu and Kashmir, that Ladakh as Union Territory, Jammu and Kashmir as another Union Territory, and then of course the delimitation, the settlement of non-Muslims, the Hindu population in the valley of Kashmir, to transform the demography of the valley of Kashmir, which is still a Muslim majority territory. But what has happened is that 800,000 Hindu voters have been included in the electoral rolls. 800,000. So that whenever there are elections in Jammu and Kashmir, illegally Indian occupied Jammu and Kashmir, BJP and Shiv Sena, they will be able to gain majority, because Jammu, they will have a majority. Jammu is not a Muslim majority territory. Valley is. So that is one thing which we have to understand, that Pakistan, in view of its domestic, political and economic predicament, political instability, what is going on in Pakistan these days, power politics, government and opposition tug of war, polarization, and then the economic crisis that Pakistan is the verge of default. So when if a country is politically and economically incapable, is failing or has failed, how can it take measures for the emancipation of the people of Jammu and Kashmir? It cannot. When a country is weak, is fragile, when its international standing is very marginal, who is going to listen to Pakistan about its Kashmir cause? The third thing is that India has been able to take effective measures to integrate its controlled or occupied parts of Jammu and Kashmir. There is communication linkage, road and rail linkage between India, Srinagar, and then onwards to Ladakh. India is taking other measures also. As far as infrastructure development is concerned. And then, of course, the final thing is that given Pakistan's economic situation, political chaos, why the people of Jammu and Kashmir or the Muslim Kashmiris under the Indian occupation would prefer to be part of Pakistan. Had Pakistan been strong, vibrant, economically, politically, it would have been in a better position to support the beleaguered population of Jammu and Kashmir. So that is something which we have to take into account. And the Indian public PR, public relations campaign at the international level has been quite successful. That Pakistan, as a member of the UN, had all its legitimate rights to request for Security Council meeting, a special session of UN General Assembly, or emergency special session, but Pakistan has not done that. Only one meeting of UN Security Council was held to discuss Jammu and Kashmir couple of years back, and that too was informal. So that is what is Pakistan's international standing on. Merely by passing resolutions, making speeches, processions, demonstrations on February 5th will not help the people of Jammu and Kashmir unless Pakistan is in a position to do something. And the Kashmiris themselves also, who are under the Indian occupation. And then, of course, the Indian public opinion, the civil society, that something was wrong and something is wrong on the part of India, the Modi regime in Jammu and Kashmir. But how many voices have been raised against human rights violations by the Indian security forces? And then, of course, the Indian officials, the BJP leaders have gone to an extent threatening Pakistan that they will attack Azad Kashmir and they will take Gilgit-Baltistan. I think that is an eye opener for Pakistan. And that has happened because of Pakistan's weak and fragile economic and political situation. Thank you very much.